Well, a very good morning. Happy Father's Day to all that might be watching today. I know there's lots of fathers that obviously tune into Clocking the Gallop, and both Lyall and I belong to that category. Lyall, a bit more than me because you're the father to a few more children than I am.
Double. I think double, Nico.
Is it double? Yeah. Yeah, I've got two.
Yeah.
I've got two.
Yeah, I'll go for.
Well, happy Father's Day to you, Lyall. Good to see you again and good to engage with you on today's racing at Turffontein. We're on the inside track today, so all races around the turn today, and you're going to be working at the course also.
Yes, I'll be out there. 8 races on the card, so of course, bipod race 1.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've chosen a couple of choices with us, and don't forget to watch our independent Take a Bet show. And what I've done is ask Lyall for his complete opinion today, and he'll be providing our Take a Bet numbers, which I'll be doing with Flo a bit later on the show. Right, let's kick on. Race 1 is a work rider's maiden plate over 1,000. Before we do that, actually, I just need to tell you that the track conditions there is obviously good because it's pretty dry out there. They've had just 2.8 millimeters of rain in the last week and 8 millimeters of irrigation. Track condition good, penetrometer at 20. And that's a look at the track conditions. In race 1, just the one change, number 3, Tara Iti has Alamites in front and races unshod behind. And we're going to go straight over to Lyall to chat to us about what he likes in race number 1. What are you thinking?
Well, I think this is the only race you and I have discussed. And quick run, having her 28th run, as is the case with number 7, Smelting. They're both having their 28th run today.
Yeah.
So just to leave those two alone for a second.
Yeah.
Forever Free ran a very good third behind Voluto. Trent Mayhew rides for Corey Lensley, is held by number 6, Quick Run in the last run. The 5, the Gliding Fish, nicely drawn. Could be anything on debut, and Dia Stinger did say nice type. So I'm just going to watch this one on the way to the start. The breeding's decent. One all the way from a sprint up to 1,800 and drawn one. So I'm going to watch that one. But theoretically, match race between the two very exposed maidens. And I'm going to go with the Quick Run. Not the best draw, but I do think she possesses speed. Tapiso Matweli, very, very good competent work rider. And to me personally, I think you and I might have a different opinion here. Stronger form lines than number 7, Smelting.
Okay, so I want to just show you this very quickly. This is the betting first up. You've got Quick Run at 8 to 10, or basically 8.5 to 10. And then you've got Forever Free number 1 at 4 to 1. The Gliding Fish, I think people are of the opinion that it doesn't have to be half good to win here. So that's shortened into 9 to 2 from just over 5 to 1. In fact, 5.5 to 9 to 2. And then Smelting, as you mentioned, from 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. I've got an interesting take in this race, which I'm going to show you why now. And my feeling is that a straight race, 1,000 meters, right, versus a turn 1,000 meters are two different events, right? So my feeling on it is most of these horses have not run around the turn 1,000 meters before. If you go to Forever Free, it's only run up the straight. If you go to Great Times, it's only run up the straight. And the case is for quite a few of them. Quick Run has run twice on this course, okay? Once over this course and distance. And that once over this course and distance is what I'm going to show you now. And you actually are going to be a little bit shocked. But anyway, let's just go to it. So I'm going to use form grids here because we use that as our point of reference. So let's go to this over here. The run that we're going to look at. So we're going to go to Quick Run's complete performance, the 27 runs of Quick Run. And we're going to find that one run where it ran third over this course and distance. And that was back on the 27th of April. Here we go. Behind Looking Hot in a work ride. In a work riders.
Yes.
Click on it.
You're showing me Smelting. I can't see, it's too small.
Is it too small for you?
Well, yes, but I can see Smelting second. What is the length?
Looking Hot won the race by 2 lengths. Smelting ran second, ridden by Joe Guinguiza. Beaten 2 lengths. Quick Run ran a further 4 lengths behind Smelting. ridden by Goodman
not good.
Dadamasi.
Yes. Point made.
So that's all I'm saying here. How can one be 8 to 10 or 8.5 to 10? 8.5 to 10 quick run. And Smelting is 5 to 1, did we say, when we looked at the betting?
Yep, you said 5 to 1. There's the value.
So that's all I'm saying, is that the race is over 1,000 meters round the turn. I've gone to the only run that the two horses have had together round the turn over 1,000 meters.
You make a good point, Nico. So as far as the bipod goes, 6 and 7, and we're going to leave out the first time, are we?
Well, we don't know, about the first time. I'm always, I always hasten to say, it's very hard to make a case for the first time or knowing absolutely nothing. Gavin Van Zale's come forward in Durban, as you know, and he's trying to expose his unraced horses to the public and trying as best he can. But for one trainer to do that and for none others to get the opportunity to do that is pointless. We bashing our heads against a wall with regard to that. We need to know more about first timers before they come to the track. We can't only go on what trainers say, because with all due respect, you and I, and they call them handicappers in America. You and I, they call tipsters or experts or supposed experts that know their form and that. But we read racing differently to a trainer reading their own horse. So we take into account the trainer's comments, obviously very seriously, and we'll talk about that in a moment going to race 2. But we take everything into account here. So we want to see the first timer ourselves, as they do in Mauritius. They go and throughout the week, they look at the work, and when the horses come out and work, they've got their names on them and they can see they can make their own opinion on the horse and how good or bad it is. So to make a comment from me now, completely cold on the gliding fishes, is going to be unfair on me and unfair on the connections of the horse. So all I'm going to say is when you're at the course, you'll see it. You'll see it.
I'll see it.
You'll see it, and you'll let the public
know.
And
of course, we'll see the betting as well, Nico.
I'm just leaning towards, yours may well beat mine. Quick Run may well beat Smelting, but I'm just going on the one run that they've had together over this course and distance, and I'll be taking 5 to 1 Smelting ahead of 8 to 10 Quick Run any day of the week, to be honest.
Summing it up, Nico, you took the coffee off me last time, so let's have the coffee right here. I'll take Quick Run, you take Smelting. 2 top work riders against each other. Let's see how they go.
Okay, fantastic stuff. I'll definitely be doing that, Lyall. We have a coffee on it. Who beats who there? That's a fair bet. And even though yours is 8 to 10, mine's 5 to 1, I don't mind taking it equal. That just shows you what sportsmanship I have on my side. Anyway, let's move on to our second race, Lyall. We've spent enough time on the first and we've exhausted that. So let's go to race 2. And here you'll see that all the money, Lyall, has been for number 2, Ipso Facto. By the way, the scratching here, number 1, Ashanti Sword, and number 8, Queen Britannia are scratched. So 2 scratchings, numbers 1 and 8. Number 9, Tabby Cat, no blinkers in race number 2. I was on the flight back with Ryan Munger from Gqeberha on Friday. And we got off the plane together, and I said to Ryan Munger, I said, are you riding on Sunday? I hadn't looked at the card yet. He said, Nico, I am, and I'm running a couple of nice juveniles for the Fortune stable. And he said, the one and the second is pretty good. It's pretty good, he said. And I see that the money has come for the daughter of Ipso Facto. She came from a 12 door last time out, and you and I both think that the step up and trip is going to suit her, and she's the horse to beat.
Yeah, I mean, 12 of 12 on the inside track at Turffontein over 1,200 meters is a death draw. And the fact that she ran 2 1/4 lengths behind Give Me a Shot really is impressive. She's now drawn well. You've got confidence from Ryan. And if you look at National Star on these, obviously some real big owners here have got some really good racehorses here. The form lines haven't come out too strong on National Star. And when you first look at this race, you see Sean Terry, Calvin Abib, drawn 6. This is the one. But that'll play second fiddle, I would imagine, to our first selection, number 2. And then I do think we have to just be wary of number 5, Midnight Crystal. Diogo de Gavea for Sean Terry, 1,600. I think more to come here. And United Express has come out and won from that last race, also stepping up in trip. So, yeah, I think we're both quite confident in number 2 here. But I'm going to be wary of number 6 and number 5 to give the 2 a go.
Yeah. So very quickly, I did a bit of homework on the merit ratings in this race. I wanted to see, because you do have some merit ratings of 2-year-olds that are published. So you're going with limited knowledge of merit ratings. I've got to say to you, Lyall, that my workings out with that ipso facto is potentially a 93 merit rating, and National Star is an 84.
There we go.
So you're thinking about National Star, about the form lines, and about what it's run against and how it hasn't beaten them. And I used Climate Control as one of the line horses here that ran a neck behind when they were carrying, when it was carrying 3 kilos less than Climate Control. I've used that. So I do believe that ipso facto, coming to the track, a fit horse by the Fortunes. And again, you tell us all the time that Ashley Fortune is very, very proactive in coming to see you and telling you, or she'll tell you now, look, the horse is 28-10. They backed it into 12-10. It's now favored at 13-10, but they're still nibbling around at National Star. I believe that ipso facto has the bigger room for improvement now, because National Star is pretty exposed at the moment, and I'm going quite strong with ipso facto. I think that that's the right horse there in the second.
We think alike. And just at a big price for the places, Nico.
Yes.
Number 7, Oriental Odyssey. Number 7 was also drawn 10 of 11 on debut, was not disgraced. And the mare, Oriental Oak, won from 14 to 2,000. So watch out for a decent run from the 7 for the top 3. Could be some good value for a place.
Obviously, also looking for a bit of a trip as Oriental Odyssey on the mother's side, being a daughter of Silvano. So definitely looking for further there. Any amount of improvement for Oriental Odyssey. It wasn't a strong field. British Diva won that day. It was pretty weak, actually. Okay, on to race 3 at 1:45. It's a maiden juvenile plate over the 1,600 meters. Let's have a look at the changes here. Scratches number 6, River Romeo. That's out. Number 3, Yellow Yokel. We spoke about Yellow Yokel. Blinkers go on that now. So it's got the blinkers on. And that was declared this morning, actually. Number 9, Summerland, has a compression mask on. That horse, by the way, is named after a volcano in Iceland.
An ice sheet. It's a small ice sheet in Iceland.
Yeah, it's got something to do with that. Anyway, the point is that it's got blinkers on today. And the other change I've just seen is a tongue tie goes on number 4, Future Pearl. They've just declared that a few minutes ago. Tongue tie on Future Pearl. Okay, so this is pretty evenly matched, actually, here. You've got 9-4 about both Future Pearl and Total Protection. And then you've got 5-2 about the ice sheet.
I think I'm pretty confident number 4, Future Pearl. I think this could be the right one here. Calvin Abib for Sean Terry, both very much in form. Good debut, coming from that Climate Control form line. The mare, Arabian Pearl, went from 1,400 to 2,400. So we'll love the step up. Tongue tie goes on, as you've just mentioned. I think there's plenty to come. But it is the first leg of the pick 6. We're not going to leave number 8, Total Protection, alone, because Ryan Munger rides for Ashley Fortune, comes out of that Acorn form line. Destiny of Souls is 1, and also bred for this trip is the 8. And then even number 3, the 3 horse, that Thunderstruck form line, obviously very strong, quite well beaten, but could improve. And then my value bid for the race is the filly, the daughter of Quarry at the bottom, 57 kilograms. She's not going to Hollywood with those form lines, but just with that weight there, JP aboard, I think she could find money. But I am leaning towards a 4, Future Pearl here in race number 3.
Okay, so Future Pearl is the horse that Lyall's going for, but not far behind it would be Total Protection. Again, you've got to respect the support for Total Protection. As I said, I did have the opportunity of chatting to Ryan, and he mentioned that all the juveniles he's riding today, he says that the Fortune stable is full of good babies. And they've done quite a bit of work for them. And I agreed with the one statement you said there about Total Protection. The step up from 1,200 to 1,600 is big in terms of this particular horse. He's bred by Ideal World. He's out of Lizzie Arden. She won. She was better as she progressed. I looked at her early career, actually. She, as she got further, got much better in her career. And again, this horse was drawn 12 out of 12 on debut, around the 1,200 on the inside track, and is still not drawn the greatest today. But I believe that those two, as you mentioned, will fight this out, and they deserve to be joint favourites, actually, in the start of the pick six. Okay, let's move on to the 4th race. It's a maiden plate fillies and mares at 2:20. It's over 1,000 meters. Changes in race 4. Number 2, Walala Wasala has got the earmuffs on, but I think they were on anyway. It's just confirmation.
Yes, they were.
They've got the earmuffs, and that is the favorite, Walala Wasala, 13-10. You've got number 1, Mandalay at 28-10, and then you've got 6-1, Rose Velvet, the 7, 7-1, number 6, Outlaw. Quite a few first timers in the race. Your feelings?
Yeah, my feelings of the first time is probably the 4 would be the right one here. The mare won over 1,000 to 14.50, so it should be quite speedy. Daisy Buchanan. But for me, I'm actually going to go with number 1 here, Mandalay. Suyanda Sosibo for Shailen Naidu, back from a 66-day rest. And the form lines for me are stronger than the 2-horse Walala Wasala. They're third behind Love Bite, first, second, and fourth have won. And they're third behind Grisha, second, fourth, fifth, seventh, and 11th have come through to win. 56 kilograms, drawn 2. It's got speed. So I'm expecting Suyanda Sosibo just to get on his bicycle, and hopefully she's too fast for the rest of them. But of course, respect for Walala Wasala with Gavin aboard and those earmuffs, which made a nice difference last time. No winners from that form line yet. Obvious opposition here. But for me, I'm quite confident number 1, Mandalay, will run a good race for us today.
Okay, yeah, well, that weight is always the big factor, yeah? 56 kilos because of the 4-kilogram apprentice allowance, and has to give 4 kilograms, Walala Wasala has to give 4 kilograms to Mandalay. Is there really much between them, as the betting would suggest? The betting suggests that Mandalay has got twice as less chance of winning the race than Walala Wasala has. If you look at that betting, it's double the price. Just your quick thoughts on the bottom horse, number 8, Second Breath, because I see Muzieni's got that right. That's a clear jockey strike. What's going on there?
Yeah, around the bend again here. Went around the bend on that debut run at Turffontein, and then that fifth behind United Express wasn't a bad run, close up, but no winners from the form line.
Yeah.
So I suppose the best run was the last one, when in a field of 20 finished 8th. But I didn't personally see Second Breath beating 1 or 2. I think they're going to both be on their bicycle early here, and she's going to have to really go with them to have any chance. So not for me. I'm going 1 and 2.
Okay, I just mentioned it because, of course, Muzieni, you'd agree with us, is just riding so brilliantly.
Yes.
He's just such a confident young, well, not young anymore, but he's a confident rider, and his form is very good. He's just getting them home. He just has the ability to get them home, and I just mentioned it because I thought that was a big jockey strike on for Robin Clark.
Certainly.
Okay, let's move on to the 5th race, a graduation plate over 1,450 meters, race number 5, and we'll pick up the changes in a moment, just updating it. Number 2, Tuscan Wind, is obviously scratched. It was a bit of a disappointing effort, I thought, the other day. That's the only change in race 5, so you can take out Tuscan Winter. The favorite is Team Gold from a bang-in form yard, Roy Magna, shortened in to 12-10 now, was a lot bigger when it opened up. And then you've got Fast Love, the 5 at 18-10. Is it a match between the two of them?
Again, I would think so. Yes, on form, I'm going to go with the 5, Fast Love, Nico. Gavin Arena for Johan Jans van Vuren. That last run was just 0.3 of a length behind number 1, Team Gold, half a kilogram worse off. But if you go to the Sent by Destiny form line, was 3/4 of a length behind Team Gold and 4 kilograms better off. So there shouldn't be too much between the two of them. Gavin's also riding very well. Drawn at 3. And I'm going to go narrowly for number 5 from the 1. I thought the value could be twice as splendid, but the form lines aren't strong there at all. And then maybe a horse like number 6, Full House, who is held by number 3, twice as splendid in the last run. So theoretically, to answer your question, a match race straight for me, 5 and 1 in that order.
Yeah, I thought it was really a 2-horse race. And I thought that it would be out of the realms of possibility for me to see anything else beating these two on the run to Castletown. It is a graduation plate, so it's set weights. You go on ratings, and Team Gold does come ahead of Fast Love, and then Silver Tycoon in 3rd if you look strictly at ratings. But I agree with you. It looks like a 2-horse war then, pretty straightforward. Okay, the 6th of the day is not straightforward because it's a fillies and mares 71 handicap, and it's 25 past 3, the off time of this 1,450 meter run. And in race 6, number 1, Golden Aspen has a compression mask, as does number 10, Vantage Point. And then 10 Vantage Point, just a couple of changes with regard to the ownership there, but not much concerning us from a form analyzing perspective. Let's look at the betting. 14-10 about Halloween, number 3, and then 22-10, number 4, Last Song. Those two dominate the market, with number 8, Red Carpet Girl, coming in for a bit of support to 6-1, and Meet the Captain, the 7, at 7-1. Again, is this straightforward, apart from the fact that it's a fillies and mares 71 handicap, and these races traditionally are pretty open.
No, I don't think this is a max race. Yeah, no, Halloween is the first selection, but there's two issues with Halloween for me. Firstly, she hasn't won for 519 days, and secondly, she's drawn 10.
Yeah.
So I'm not loving that. But Brett Crawford, Craig Zaki, obviously a winning chance. Form lines are very decent. Princess Kesh, Sister Light. There's good winners from the Highborn Lady form line. The 4, of course, last song, good second last time, but is held by Halloween on the Cybarus form line. It does get Gavin aboard again. So I thought I open, and I thought my value is number 7, Meet the Captain. Jeff Saister for Stephen Moffat, drawn nicely at 3. Last time out, had that horrible draw. If you look at the runs before that, that second behind Right Choice, Space Race on cue, I thought with 56 kilograms, she could be very dangerous. And the horse like number 8, Red Carpet Girl. And then I wanted to mention number 11, Fascinada. Nathan Klink for Brett Weber, also a horrible draw. But on that last run there, when dropped in trip, could be a bit dangerous with 52 as well. So I'm not really loving this field, Nick. I go Halloween or any of the horses I've mentioned.
Yeah. No, as I said, it's pretty open. I quite like Last Song. In fact, I went for Last Song when she ran last time out, and I think it might have just been a touch too far for the 1800. So I'm happy that she's coming back in trip, and I'd probably gravitate towards her actually as a likely winner. But I do like your Meet the Captain because I liked it last time up, and the draw beat it. It's clear the draw it never got into the hunt at all. And I think from a 3 draw, I think that she might well be the value in the race at 7 to 1, number 7, Meet the Captain. Yeah, so you're going fairly wide then, are you here? If you're playing the pick 6, you go fairly wide?
Yes. I would go 3, 4, 7, 8, and 11, just to be sure.
Okay, so 3, 4, 7, 8, 11. The horse that keeps on staring at me, though, here is the 25 to 1 chance, Elusive Woman. Why, you'd say, is because Neil Andrews goes for this every time it runs.
Wow.
And tells me that she's got a chance, but I think from a 9 draw, she's got to work it out. I haven't spoken to Neil actually, so I don't know what he would like in this race, but I just mentioned I only mention her because every time she runs, he mentions her.
Okay, all right. Well, it's good rough if she comes. I won't have her.
Okay, race 7. Let's move on to the penultimate event. This is a middle stakes. It's over 2,600 meters. And let's have a look at the changes or the updated changes in race 7. Number 3, Afrad has cheat pieces and the blinkers are dropped. And number 6, Rule Book races with a Cornell collar. That horse, Rule Book, certainly on the up, has won its last, or 2 out of its last 3, but seems to be on the up again. Now, this is race, a small field. It's a middle stake. So I think the fillies come in with a favorable advantage in terms of the weights. But let's look at the betting. Rule Book is 15 to 10, probably deserves to be there as favorite. 9 to 2 about the 1 Captain Chorus. Number 5, Under Twas 5 to 1, and then there's been a bit of support for the 2, the Cop, into 8 to 1, with Ariam, the other filly, at 7 to 1. Tell us about what you saw in race 7.
Nice race, this one. I like it. The best weighted is Umbe Trois, but I'm going for number 9, Arlington Action.
Right.
I'm looking in. It looks like about 10 to 1. Is that about right, Nico?
It is 10 to 1. It's drifted from 8s to 10s. Yeah.
Arlington Action, Pilisandium Toli. He had a winner yesterday or the day before for Tyrone Zaki. 2,600 again, 48.5 kilograms. And if you look at the form lines, on the penultimate, there's a race update for everyone, by the way. Ran on the 14th. And that was 5th, 1 3/4 lengths behind Jamela. The run before that finished 7 lengths behind Rule Book, and on that occasion, only 2.5 kilograms better off. So held on that one. But if you go back to that second behind Light of the Moon, how was that for a run, by the way?
Yeah,
was in front of number 6. And also, if you go back 6 runs, when beaten just over 2 lengths by Rule Book, is 5.5 kilograms better off. So one of them is 10 to 1. Right at the top of the boards. My value and my first selection is Arlington Action, but of course, respect for Rule Book. Wow, what form this horse is arriving in. And then Captain Chorus. I wouldn't let this horse leave this horse alone.
Yeah.
Coming down in class, enjoys course and distance. Look at Craig Zaki's record. Yeah. Tricky little race, this one. Even a horse like Arjam on best form could give them a go, but we can't tip them all. So I think Arlington Action will give us a good run at a good price.
Yeah, I'm looking at the run that stuck out to me was the run over this course and distance back on the 5th of April this year when it ran 5th to Rule Book. I think we tipped Rule Book as our price booster that day, and we got the lot that day. But this horse ran 2.5 lengths behind it, giving it 2. It now receives 2 which means the weight
Correct.
turnaround works out, as you said,
5.5.
5.5 kilos for 2.5 length beating. One's at 15 to 10. Would you be taking 50 to 10 rule book and 10 to 1 Arlington Action, knowing that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
No.
And,
No.
Therefore, I think, yeah, you're right. Arlington Action definitely comes in with a massive chance. And as you mentioned, Captain Chorus, despite the fact of the weight it carries, I've learned from this horse before, he's a game campaigner. He's a wonderful stayer. And you can't let him run loose. I do.
No, you can't. That's what I was trying to say. Can't let him run loose.
Correct. You can't let him run loose, Captain Chorus. Okay, the last of the day is another event over the 2,600 meters. This time it's a classified stakes race. It runs at 4:30. The changes in race 8, there are quite a few equipment changes. Number 1, Seaways, races with a Cornell collar. Number 5, Go Dream Machine, has a compression mask and no tongue tie. Number 16, Kissed by Fire, Alamites in front and Unshod behind. Well, this is the biggest field of the day. They saved the biggest for last. And I'm not even going to go through the betting, but suffice to say that it's open. And they're betting 9 to 2, 5 to 1 the field here.
Yeah, I'm going to take on the favorite, Lamborghini. I'm going to go with number 11, Zazu. Thai best weighted horse in the field, being a filly, Muzieni. We were chatting about him earlier. 2 good course and distance runs, 53.5 kilograms. And if reproducing that last run, is a big runner. I do have respect for number 13, Crusade to Royalty. She has been a little bit expensive to follow recently, but also very nicely weighted, 52 kilograms. So those 2 for me are the top 2, but also horses like Cape Bouquet. Look at that last run behind Flying First Class. Flying First Class won in a time of 165.74. That's a nice time. And then, of course, horses like number 8, Viceroy, have to go in. You cannot leave out Lamborghini. And even a horse like number 3, Kurt's Approval, who beat Flying First Class last time, is up 9 points in a horrible draw. So that's making me, maybe we could leave that one out. But yeah, for me, Zazu, I think Zazu could be the right one here, and we'll get a decent price, Nico.
Yeah, Zazu, number 11, 9 to 2. Well, you do know Robbie Sage's form is absolutely brilliant. Every time we seem to tip him on this show, they seem to pop up. And I'll tell you what, that's got a bigger chance as any. I'm just having a look at Robbie Sage's latest form. I can tell you that his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out of his last 9 runners, there have been 4 winners for Robbie Sage. So he's won almost 50% of the time he sent out a runner. That's how hot he is at the moment. And he's got his stable rider, Muzieni, up on Zazu. Just very quickly, the Ghost Rider doesn't normally pitch in on racing from Gauteng, but he sent me a message overnight to say he really thought that Crusade to Royalty from the Magnus stable had a big chance here with just 52 kilos on its back. And you seem to put it into the play today quite a bit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Caden Brewer, if Caden Brewer can work a bit of magic here, this could be the winner. I could completely agree. This could be the day for Crusade to Royalty.
Yeah, it could be. We've tipped it again on this show when it won at 25 to 1. People will know that follow Clocking the Gallop back in January. We got all our New Year's money on Crusade to Royalty at 25 to 1 when it won. Neil liked it that day, and we seem to go okay there. Okay, so that's it. Pretty open the last race, but last signing with Zazu. He likes a bit of the Ghost Rider selection as well, Crusade to Royalty. Well, that'll wrap it up. It's pretty early on a Sunday morning. It's pretty cold out there very early in the morning, but I hope that it warms up for your sake during the course of the day today, Lyall. I don't think we race again in the province until Thursday. There's racing at the Vaal on Thursday, and you're taking a few days break.
Yes.
A bit of time off for Lyall Cooper, which is fantastic.
I think you might be doing Thursday.
I am presenting at the course. I don't think I've presented at a race course for a long, long time, but I'll be doing a bit of that in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. So,
you better find those winners for the punters out there. That's great.
I'll have to continue your good form. Can't let your side down and your followers down. Okay, Lyall. Well, thanks so much for coming through today. Appreciate your time, and we'll be watching you carefully at the course later. And we've got that coffee on. Make sure that when we win it, we go out for breakfast as well. How's that?
I enjoy that. Enjoy it. Thank you, Nico.
Thanks a lot.